Hi guys, and thanks for watching our ecmwf long range special on July 1st, 2023. So today, we're looking at the ecmwf.int weekly mean anomalies for pressure at 500 hPa. That is where the jet stream runs. The 2 meter temperature anomalies, as well as the precipitation anomalies for the next 6 weeks. So, starting off with our pressure anomaly for week 1, that will be Monday, July 3rd to Monday, July 10th. And blue means below average heights, and red means above average heights, so that's high pressure, and that's low pressure. So we can see that we've got blue all over Ireland and the UK, and that shows that low pressure will dominate for week 1, coming off the Atlantic and moving towards Scandinavia. Precipitation, temperature anomalies are looking below average in these blue shadings. So blue shadings mean that temperature is below average by about in these light blue colours by about 1 degree. And any pinkish or red shades mean that the temperature is above average. And this is the precipitation anomaly for week 1, and that shows above average precipitation in those green shadings, and any of these sandy brown shadings show below average precipitation, so drier than average weather over Iceland, for example. Week 2 is Monday, July 10th to Monday, July 17th. So this one, again, shows low pressure, probably centered to our southwest, and high pressure over Greenland, extending towards Scandinavia and down into Europe, and down off into Africa. That will probably keep the wind in off the Atlantic in week 2. Temperature anomalies are recovering somewhat, especially over northern areas. We're into the pink shades, so I'd say that's about 1 degree above average. But elsewhere, we're still in the whites, so that's either neutral, so average temperatures, or no signal. And finally, precipitation anomalies are like this. We're still wetter than average, so it does show low pressure coming in off the Atlantic towards Western Europe and up towards Scandinavia in week 2. Week 3 is Monday, July 17th to Monday, July 24th. So you can see we've got high pressure towards Greenland and Canada, and down across Europe and Africa. We've got this sort of white section stretching all the way from the Atlantic, the Azores, up towards Ireland and the UK, and towards Scandinavia. Logically, that would be an area of lower pressure or below average heights, because low pressure has to be somewhere. It's summertime, so the low pressure won't be so deep, so it may not really show. So the blue colours may not show on the map, but I would suspect that a trough of low pressure would lie over us in week 3. Temperature anomalies, widely about 1 degree above average. So the temperature is recovering into mid-July. And finally, the precipitation anomalies, not a big signal, but we can see that it's drier than average towards our northwest, towards Greenland and Iceland. It was also drier than average to our south, over you can see a few splotches of sandy brown around Iberia, down towards the Canary Islands, and off into the Mediterranean, and up into the Low Countries. And we have this area of wetter than average anomalies in the Azores, and if you zoom in, you can see a few little dashes of green over the south of Ireland, northern Scotland, and Scandinavia, and that is pretty much where we saw the white area. So I do suspect that is quite an unsettled week still, with some rain around. Towards the end of July, Monday, July 24th to Monday, July 31st. So high pressure is stretching to our north, towards Greenland, Iceland, and northern Scandinavia, also over Africa. Again, I'm suspecting that this white area will have some sort of trough, but because the high pressure seems to be closer to us in week 4, I think that will be a drier week and possibly warmer as well. Temperature anomalies are like that. So creeping up ever so slightly again. We're getting close to be able to get to 1 to 3 degrees above average with these darker shades of pink, I think. This is the precipitation anomaly. Yes, you can see, the area of above average heights for our north is drier than average. And also, this area of whites is the area of whites here is proving to be wetter than average. So I think we're sort of on a knife edge, probably quite a big battleground scenario. We'll have the high pressure. We'll have the high pressure to our north trying to give dry easterly winds, while the low pressure to the south is trying to break possibly thundery bursts through from France, or Atlantic westerly winds or southwesterly winds, and it was drier than average for our north, over Scotland and possibly over the north of Ireland, but wetter towards the Celtic Sea, towards the Azores, and over England. So I'd say wettest in the south, driest in the north. This is the pressure anomaly for week 5. So high pressure is still is very much intensifying to our north. High pressure also over Africa and into Italy as well. Again, we got this large swathe of whites, and again, that is probably low pressure in some form. Into early August, temperatures are rising again. I'd say about 1 degree above average for the southeastern half of the country, but for the northwestern half, around 1 to 3 degrees above average. And that would make sense with an easterly flow, coolest in the east and warmest in the west, because the east will be exposed to onshore winds. And finally, precipitation anomalies. Again, drier to our north with a few blobs of sandy brown, but wetter to our south. Again, that area of low pressure probably bring thunderstorms to the continent and rain to the Atlantic. Finally, week 6 is Monday, August 7th to Monday, August 14th. Here we go. High pressure towards like Greenland, Canada, and the Labrador Sea, extending towards the northwestern Atlantic. High pressure also towards eastern Scandinavia, Finland, Russia, western Russia, and towards Africa and Southeast Europe. Probably again in the white, some sort of trough extending through here. Temperature anomalies cooling down a bit from the previous week, only about 1 degree above average now. And finally, precipitation anomalies wetter than average, especially for our east of the country. A few hints of being drier than average to our northwest, but the main signal is for rain to return, possibly thunderstorms. So anyway, that's it for today's update on this chart. In summary, I say weeks 1 and 2, the first half of July, possibly extending slightly into the second half as well. Looks cool and wet, with low pressure centers either to our west or north, bringing Atlantic winds and rain and showers. Weeks 3 and 4, and possibly part of 5, sees an improvement with high pressure building towards our north and low pressure being centered to our south. That'll probably bring an easterly flow, driest in the north, wettest in the south, quite warm as well, especially in the west. And in week 6, judging by that precipitation anomaly, it looks like that low pressure will just edge further northwards. Also, seen on that pressure anomaly, a lot more whites showing up. So that's probably lower pressure. So possibly another deterioration into mid-August, but that's a long way off. So I must say that it's unreliable. It's partly for fun, partly just to, just to see the trends that are showing for the next 6 weeks. And I'll see you later on for our usual updates. But for now, we're done, and I'll see you later.